Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. Hello. On today's episode, I wanted to talk about mission, vision, and values and how it can apply to really every area in your life. You know, I'm really getting strategic about my coaching business, and I recently hired a coach, and he said the first thing is the foundation. You can't build a house starting from the top down. You need to start from the bottom up, and that's your foundation. And as I'm going through this exercise and figuring out my mission, my vision, my core values, because until I have that really secure and understood and in every cell of my body, how am I to emulate that and just really communicate that to my prospects and to the right people to be attracted to me and my energy and what I stand for. And in doing that, really looking at where else can you apply that in your life, such as, you know, being able to do that maybe in your family. You know, a lot of people have family crests, or you have these little sayings around your home that really mean something to you. And in doing that, it's kind of a mission, maybe vision, maybe core values for sure of what your family stands for. And on top of that, where else can you be doing that in your life? I mean, definitely at work, most business places have this in place, and if they don't, they should. But take it one step further. You know, faith-based churches, synagogues, they have it. What about schools? Schools have chants and cheers and some values that they go by. You know, groups that you volunteer with and at, what are theirs? If you look at all the different places in your life, many of them, if not most of them, have one of the three, either a mission, a vision, or values, core values that they stand by. So when you are making yours, whether it be for your business, I think every family should have them. I'm going to sit down and we're going to get this done with our family, because when you're making decisions and when something comes up, you know, you can ask, does that align with our core values? Is this something that would happen in our family? Is this something we would choose to do, or how we would choose to act or behave based upon our core values? So if you come together on the core values, the mission, the vision, when something comes up, you can just refer back to that. And it's a really excellent tool that you can use that can help you make the decisions. It makes it actually very easy. Does it align or does it not align? Does the opportunity, does the action, does the behavior, does the way we're communicating and talking and speaking, all of that, does it align? If it doesn't, then we know not to head that direction. And I know in the beginning, so many people get stuck because they're like, oh, you just need to have it perfect. Or, you know, I always had a mission, vision, values, but it wasn't, you know, really solidified, like in every cell of my body like it is now. And what I came to find, again, by hiring a coach, everyone should have a coach. I'm going to side note that everyone should have a coach, especially if you're going somewhere, if you have big visions, big dreams, you want something, find someone that's done exactly what you intend to do, and they can take the time and the length that it would usually take you to get there and half, if not quarter, that time. So anyway, my coach was talking about it, and They're not in blood. You do not have to write these in blood, and you do not have to etch them in stone, knowing that things are going to change. Fluidity. It's fluid. It has to be fluid because every day, if you're listening to this podcast and if you're implementing even a little bit of it, 1% better every day in 1 month, in half a year, in a year, you're going to be completely different and your mission may change. Some values may come in and may go out. Your core values, you'll be adding those as well as you get new opportunities. You experience different things. Extraordinary results come into your life, and that's okay. So don't get stuck on having it perfect. And you know what? If you put it on a sign, you can get another one made if it changes. Not if, when it changes, because it will. And that's fine. But start where you're at today. Quit planning to plan, to prepare to plan, to go to a meeting to plan, to prepare, to think about maybe doing it. Just do it. Start where you're at. When you come from perfection, you are playing not to lose. I'm going to say it again. When you come from perfection, meaning if you're trying to get everything just perfect, if you're a perfectionist, if you're just holding back because it's just not quite right, and you got to do this and you got to do that, and then you got to move over here, you are playing not to lose. Start where you're at today. It's fluid. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're all human, and we will all, what we say, fail forward. I don't even know that I appreciate that, but I don't know that I 100% agree with failing forward. Yes, it's a good thing, but my perceptions changed a little bit on it. Because truly, you only ever fail if you quit or stop or don't start. So if you quit, stop, or you don't start, that's failure. Everything else is just feedback. So take what you're doing, moving forward, and if it doesn't go the right direction, or it doesn't work, or it fails, or you fall on your face, that's okay. Pick up, take the feedback, because that's all it is feedback, adjust, and move forward. It's the people that fall, don't take feedback, take it as failure, and turn around and walk the other direction or say, this isn't for me. Screw this. This is way too hard. What was I thinking? Who do I think I am? I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to do this again. And you get in your head. And the other thing that my coach said to me, knowing what goals I have and where I want to go and what I intend to do. And he says this to everyone. If you care what other people think about you, you will not get there. You have to stop caring what other people think about you. And one thing that Bob Proctor always said is, he just said it with such grace and dignity and humor. He said, and you know what the truth is? If you really think about it, they're probably not even really thinking about you. We make all these stories up in our head like, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? Or what is this? Or what is that? We are all very busy. We all have tons going on. And most of them probably aren't even thinking about you. And the other thing that I heard recently is the ones that are talking about you behind your back, or if people are saying things, or if you are the conversation, the topic of conversation, good. Because that means you must be going somewhere and doing something if people are talking about it. So make a decision that you are going to lean into your goals. You're going to lean into your desires, what you really want out of life, and you're going to choose you. Now, this is a process. I'm not going to say it's going to happen in a day, a week, a month, hopefully a couple months, if not a year. But it takes consistency, it takes dedication, and it takes decision. And you have to decide that you're going to start working on your self-image every day, your attitude, your standard. What is your standard for life, for business, for relationships, for what you say yes to and no to? What does your disciplined morning routine look like? Or do you let whatever get in the way of it and you don't protect and have boundaries? There is a point of having boundaries and putting yourself first in a way that by doing so, everyone else around you becomes better. It's like the masks that fall out of the ceiling in the airplane. Put yours on first so you can help the others around you. That is just like our disciplines, our habits, the decision we make, the standards we hold, our self-image. If you're not taking care of yourself first and really looking in the mirror, and you're able to say beautiful things to yourself and positive affirmations and look yourself in the eyes without becoming small, that's the place to start. Because if you're still even doing that, you can't even look in the mirror and do your affirmations, which so many people can. I know in the beginning it was really hard for me. It's uncomfortable at first. And if it is, that's okay. But keep doing it. It's the repetition of doing it over and over and over again that it will become easier. It'll become more natural. You'll begin to believe it. Your subconscious will accept it, and your self-image will only get better and better and better. So start putting yourself first. And it goes back to, what are your core values? What's your vision? And what's your mission based upon your purpose? Why are you here? What is your purpose? What lights you up? What do you want to do every morning? If you could wake up tomorrow morning and it would be your perfect day, like, pinch me, I cannot believe this. This is what I get to do. This is my perfect day. What is that? What does that look like? Write it out. Write it out in detail. I'm not talking a paragraph, pages. Write it out in the most detail you can, and then reread it. Rewrite it. It gets better every time you rewrite it. Record it. Listen to it on your phone. Record it on your memo. Listen to it when you're driving down the road, whether it's 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes. Put yourself first and start doing these little things that will just start the tweaking. And it's the consistency of doing these things every day that will build upon each other. And the day before, and the day before that. And all of a sudden, you'll look back and be like, wow, this really works. And you'll need a telescope to look back and see who you once were. It doesn't have to go from 0 to 100. You can have quantum leaps, absolutely. And you can also just do the consistent disciplines every day. Day one, every day, recommit. Not just one day, day one. Get up, recommit. Today is day one. If you slipped yesterday, that's okay. Let it go. Just don't do it 2 or 3 days in a row. Because if you do it more than 2 or 3 days, it's going to turn into weeks, which will turn into months, which will turn into years. So, day one. And then you come back the next day, day one. How am I going to be 1% better than I was yesterday? At the end of the night, take inventory. What did you do well? What could you improve upon? What did you commit that you were going to do that maybe you didn't get through, or you didn't get done, or something got in the way? Put it back on your list for tomorrow. and get it done and get it off your list earlier the better, because it will give you so much energy throughout the rest of the day. So, mission, vision, values throughout your life, in every area of your life. Think about that. Stuff that matters to you, where you show up in your life, whether it's home, work, your volunteering, your faith-based community, sports teams. I know my son's on both of them are on sports team right now, and my daughter, and they have values. They talk about how they're going to show up and what they're going to do and how they're going to play. And the parents, they have commitments too of how they show up and what's expected of them and the values they're to hold and, convey to the other team, to the players, and to the fans. It's everywhere. We just don't look at it that way. But really make every day count in where you show up. Put some mission, put some vision, and put your core values behind it. Thank you. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible, because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.